All right, I'm going to try to do my best. I'm going to try to do my best keeping this video as short as possible. Hey, if you're out there and you're trying to figure out how to day trade, my name is Kenny Glick. I've been doing this for 30 years. I pretty much invented what you do today. So any system, any platform you're trading on, before it was created, we helped create it. So anything that you're using today, we were basically the guinea pigs of trading in 1999, 2000. And as trading evolved, and I've learned how to trade better, the software has gotten better, how we trade's gotten better, and the market's become unbelievably rigged to price more than ever before in my career. So 30 years later, after watching and learning from everything I've experienced, putting it onto a screen and using charts to guide me, I feel like I'm unstoppable right now. To the point where as if I train you how to trade, and again, here's the setup. You got to have a little bit of money. No one's getting, let's be frank. Who the hell's Frank? You got $1,000 to your name, and you're not going to make it. Sorry, you're not. Because that means you have to get every trade right for the rest of your life forever. Well, that's redundant, but every trade right. You have no chance because one trade goes wrong, it sets you back 10 steps with a small account. And nobody ever gets all the trades right. Plus, with $1,000, you're only trading options. So not only does it put you behind an impossible the, the the idea of succeeding with $1,000 in your account is ridiculous. Maybe not everybody wants to tell that to your face, but I'll be the guy that tells you to you. All right, you're not going to make it. You don't have enough risk cushion. You need at least $5,000, and even with that, you're still trapped only trading options. You can't do the proper procedure. So, what I'm suggesting is save your money. All right. You got $1,000 to your name. First of all, how are you living? Right? Don't sell your car. Don't sell bodily fluids to become a trader. You don't want to do that. So, what you want to do is take that $1,000 that you have, right? Give it to me. And I'm being serious now. Give it to me and hang out with me for the rest of August, September, October, November, and December. So the rest of August, September, October, November, and December. That $1,000 that you were about to throw away in the market because you thought you might have a good idea on some option play that may or may not work, it doesn't matter. Even if you double it, right? If you double your account, you have $1,000. If you make 10 times your money, which is very rare, on your first trade, you got 10 grand. It's not that much money. But if you want to survive, give me the $1,000. Give me the $1,000 and spend the next 5 months with me. And if you can follow along, if you can convince me that you're not a maniac that's going to go into the account after 5 months of me training you and do completely the opposite of what I taught you, I'll give you $50,000 of my money that you can trade. And if you make money on that money, I'll give you a percentage of your profits. Sounds fair, right? That's exactly what I'm doing. So today's day one. And now, again, my new student has gone off the rails a little bit because he's in a paper trading account right now. And he did the trade that I wanted him to do, the Zoom short, made his $800 on a relatively small size trade, but he's also up $15,000 on some SPY option, SPX options, but he had huge size on, and you're defeating the purpose of the paper trading. If you're going to paper trade, you have to pretend as if it's real. You're not putting on 300 contracts in real life. You're putting on three. Put on three. You have to paper trade. Paper trading is good, but it's also terrible because people bend the rules that you're not going to bend in real life. You have to paper trade as if it's real money. That's where people get themselves in trouble. Burp. If you're going to trade, I don't care if it's $30 million in buying power. you're still going to trade 400 shares of Zoom. Okay? The machine's back at school. So if you're going to paper trade, trade accordingly, right? And let's say you did a HKD, which was a good trade today. We had HKD from the morning. And you want to trade HKD. Normally, you're not going to trade HKD because that's not what the machine trades. The machine only trades reversals on earnings reports. Okay. But HKD did set up after it popped, dropped, came under the VWAP, ass crack. I will give you permission to trade that. But you're still not going to trade 5,000 shares of it. You have to trade according to the rules and regulations, even though it's fake money. Remember, paper trading is good for one real major benefit. Learning the software, getting used to sending the orders in increments, getting used to placing your stops, having that, the activity. But you got to remember, don't trade as if it's fake. You have to trade as if it's real. So that's my one suggestion right now. But if you're learning how to trade, there's nobody on earth that's going to teach you better than I am. You know why? Because I know the 1,007 things that don't work, and I know the 6 things that you should focus on. So that's why if you've never traded before and you're thinking about getting into this, you're probably a better candidate to make money than somebody who has thousands and thousands of bad habits, thinks they know what they're doing, and they're delusional, because we're all delusional a little bit. When I was gambling on earnings reports, I just figured, all right, this will eventually work. No, it doesn't work. Buying options before earnings reports is a losing game. And I just kept doing it and doing it, thinking it was gonna change one day. It doesn't change. The only constant is actual change, the market. And if you don't bend to the market right now, if you're trading the last 3 days as if you were trading 3 weeks ago, you're getting annihilated. If you're trying to buy breakouts in a choppy market, you're losing on every trade. If you're shorting when stocks are rolling over, you're losing on every trade. We are in a sideways market. You need to understand, right? And that's part of what I do. I don't think there's anybody on earth in tune with the markets more so than I am. It's impossible because I have no life. This is what I do. I dream about stocks. I dream about charts. I wake up screaming about charts. It's all I do. I've been staring at screens for 30 years. That's why I have no hair or friends or a life. But what it has done, it's provided me with a skill that I don't think anybody on earth possesses. I don't think anybody wants this skill. Nobody wants to be sitting here all day. But you know what? I've already done it. I've already sat here all day, my whole life. So here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. You're not going to have to know about the 16,000 other moving averages because they don't matter. You don't need to know about stochastics or Bollinger Bands. You don't need to know the 97% of things that other people think you may or may not know. You're never going to have to read a book except the 2 books that I give you about trading. I will show you exactly what to focus on, and it's going on 13 years, and it's only getting better. I'll show you what to focus on, what stocks to focus on, what setup to focus on, and that's all you're going to do. And if you want to dive into swing trading, you can do it with your own money. You're not doing it with my money. You want to invest in the market, you can do it with your own money, not with my money. But when there's a time to swing and invest, I'll let you know when the coast is clear. It was the end of April, May 5th till July 20th, and I nailed it. And I had a portfolio. I built a hedge fund. We already cashed out. We don't even own any stocks except for Rig. And now I'm thinking about dumping that stock because Josh Brown cursed it. And again, I'm not condemning any one particular person. It's the they. When they start liking something that's already made a nice move, chances are they are now creating a crowded trade. And that's what Josh did to the stock. He liked it, went up 20 cents that day, and now it's been dead money since that day. It's not a coincidence, friends. It's not a coincidence. If you're an investor, it hasn't been, what, 10 days, 20, what's today's date? 2 weeks. So he said he liked it on the 10th, was it 12 days, 2 weeks ago. And what's it done for 2 weeks? It sucked. And it's on a downtrend now. It's not a coincidence. That's why, when did Carvana end? When everybody started talking about it and it got upgraded at 58, and that was the end of the trade. When did Rivian come to a screeching halt? When everybody started talking about it and the stock was already up over 100% for the month. Where'd you think it was going to go? Where did all these stocks go? What happened to ENVX after they reported earnings? People got the wake-up call. They realized the stock's not worth what they thought it was worth. The stock's down over 50% since then. Anyway, I've already gone on way too long. Today's the kind of day, in these last 2 or 3 days, these are the type of days where they seem boring on the surface. By the way, boring is good. Sideways is good. Sideways is less frustrating than most people think. The rookie trader thinks the sideways action is awful and choppy. The experienced trader just knows, okay, we're in a range. That means I could buy the dip, but then I have to sell the rip because we're not going to break out and we're not going to break down. So you could buy support, sell resistance. And you're not going to be too upset like on a trade like HE. Take a look at this stock. Wham! So, if I had some skills, I could be able to. By the way, I got the OBS thing working. I'm going to be able to switch over from my face to my charts soon. I got the webcam thing. I got a new laptop. I'm going to work this out where it actually is pretty good. Or here's a better idea. Come to the website, because then you can see my screen and you don't see my dumb face. You'd rather see my screen and just hear my voice. You don't need to see this. As awesome as this is, you don't need to see this. Now, what the hell was I saying? See, I got thrown off by my gorgeous face that I'm looking at. What the hell was I just saying? I don't even know what I was saying. What was I saying? Something about something. I don't know. But, yeah, boring days. See, this is the kind of day where you're not all pissed off that you sold something. So I got into HE at 1385. Was looking for 1304. Why? That was break even. Got over 1304. What did it do? It tacked on an eighth of a point. Typical $13 stock. You're not looking to make $3 in the trade. 1285 got us $13.12. You know what that is? That is a solid trade. That's a payday with limited risk, basically riskless, because we bought the stock. Or let me show you. Well, you can't see my screen, but if you're looking at it later, HE, I've been trading it every day. It broke VWAP and ass cracked at 1246. I missed it. And then it broke 1257. I missed it. But you know what it did? When it broke 1273, it went up 2 cents, came back to test the 1256. And then when it broke to 1273, I bought it. And I bought it at 78, 79, 81, 82, 83, 84, because that was the multi-day VWAP. And I got myself a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. And you buy yourself 2,000 shares, cost average around 1285 at the end of the day. Sold 1,000 at 13, and the other 1,000, basically 1305, 1306, and then the rest at 13 and 12. What did I sell? 1295. Not a huge trade, but a trade where you're risking virtually nothing. Low risk, medium reward. And that is a great place to live. Low risk, medium reward, because the medium reward changes. The low risk always stays the same. So if every trade you take is low risk for medium, large, and sometimes phenomenal rewards. Again, my style of trading, usually I'm out of the HKDs before they break out because I'm selling into the move. So by the time this thing gets to 7, I'm done. And then it goes to 8 and change. But then most of the time, these stocks roll over and die, and at least we're out. Like the QQQ short from today, we had the Q short. We got what we wanted. We got paid, and then we got out. Next thing you know, we're long the Qs, and then we're short the Qs again. So it's been, we're playing the chop pretty well. And like I said, if you're struggling doing this, there's nobody on earth that's going to show you. And again, trading's never easy because the frustration and the fear are your worst enemies. But when you start trading only price and you accept that the game is rigged and we have the only way to fight the rigging, when you truly accept it, when you truly accept VWAP is the only way to manage your trades. And by the way, we have been waiting all freaking day for some dicks in it. Get involved. It's about fucking time. I've been sitting with this crap since 1250. Let's go. Now, if Dix doesn't get to 1365 this time, I'm literally going to go to the Dix store and I'm going to punch the first salesperson I see in the face. Come on! This is long-term investing for me right now. I've been in Dix since it's only about 45 minutes. Feels like it's a longer period of time. But we finally got over VWAP, right? And, we failed the first time. We failed the second time. We failed the third time. Now we're over it. You got to give me more than 40 cents on this trade. So, again, I at this point, I'd rather break even than sell it here. 1365. You got to get there. You got to get there. You got to get there, 1365. You got it. You got it. I'm not selling. No. I'll wait another 45 minutes or 4.5 hours. But, yeah, I mean, boring days are fine because if you're trading disciplined, you're supposed to be bored. It's not exciting. You're not supposed to be exciting. You're not supposed to be shitting in your pants and with fear. Here's where I'm buying. Here's my risk. Here's where I think it's going. And that's it. It's boring. It's supposed to be boring. It's exciting when you're making money, I guess. But each trade is exactly the same. And you're just a machine. Hey, my friend who wants that lighting kit, I think I got somebody else in the neighborhood who wants it. I'm sorry. I know. I'll give you something else, even though you don't watch my videos anymore. He's all pissed off. I got to get rid of some of this stuff. But you see, this webcam's been in my closet for got to be 2 years, and now it's come into use. Who the hell thought? Anybody need a webcam stand with a swivel? I'm not going to use it. I installed it on top of my computer. I really hate this stock. I so hate Dix. I so hate this stock. Oh man, it's like it heard me say, "Oh, you're not going to sell it? Let's go right back to 1250." Wow. Yeah, Dix. 1365. Yeah, I'm just saying 1365. 113.65. Yeah. But now it just screwed me. So I guess I'm locked in for life. I'm going to be riding this Dix for a while. Anyway. But so I'm training this new guy. He's already gone off the rails. If you're listening, you can't trade size you're not going to trade. It's rule number 1 of paper trading. Don't do things that you're not going to do normally. Like the paper trader says, who cares? It's not real money. If I'm down 10 grand, I'll just buy more and hope for the best. You would never do that in real life. So don't do it when you're paper trading. You understand? You understand. I understand. Do you understand? So I got another psychotic stock for you, right? Other than HKD. You want to see something ridiculous? You want to see something ridiculous? VFS. Yes, that one. Me love you long time. It's a Vietnamese electric car company. That's right. Yes. The name of the car is Me Run Long Time. No joke. So if you didn't get enough worthless car companies to lose your money on, here's another one, right? So the IPO comes out, 35 bucks, right? Thing goes from 35 to 39, tanks to 11. Tax on 7 or 8 yesterday, and out of freaking nowhere, this psychotic stock goes from 19 bucks, right, to 34 today. And I'm joking around. I'm like, you know what? If it breaks the all-time highs, probably have to buy it. Next thing you know, it's breaking the all-time highs, tax on another 10 points. And it's one of those stocks. I just looked it up. I was trying to get an idea how many shares are in the float. If you guys have good information, maybe my info is bad. I just went to marketwatch.com. It said there's only 16 million shares in the float, which is a very low number. Other websites have different numbers. I don't know what to believe. But the bottom line is there's always some crazy bullshit going on. And that's why I think today was a decent day to watch the HKD. And what's the other stock we traded? We traded Fulcrum, FULC. And on these boring type of days, you get more activity in the weird stocks because there's nothing really going on. So everybody just flocks to what is moving. And today it was HKD announcing a buyback and getting the shorts a little bit scared there. And that's been the whole day. I mean, there really isn't much going on, which is fine. We got Jackson's Hole and we got NVIDIA, and then we'll see where we're at. Third day of the rally, the gap was sold, the gap was bought. The gap was sold, the gap was bought, the gap was sold. And now we're basically flat across the board. Yeah, now we're down. I mean, yeah, we're down 175 on the Dow. I guess that's something. We're flat on the Qs. Flat on the NASDAQ. So good times. And I know I can't stop making videos over 20 minutes long. I'm sorry. But come to the website. I'm offering the best deal I've ever run in my entire career, ever. $1,000 to the end of the year. And we're even throwing in something even more special if you never took a trial. So if you never took a trial, we're giving you the trial that you may have missed. I started a trial on June 1st till I got back from Greece. If people missed that, I'm tacking it on. So you're basically getting 5.5, 6 months for $1,000, the lowest price I've ever charged for anything ever. And if you qualify, you might become one of my traders, because right now I'm got one guy. So far, so good. I want 3 more guys or girls. I don't discriminate. But ladies, if you're going to work for me, I'm a very surly, nasty guy behind the scenes when there's money on the line. You better be ready for it. I don't beat around the bush, and what you may or may not have thought of me or liked about me will go out the window in 3 days. 3 days, you will see the true nature, especially if you're losing money. I will say some very, very vile, disgusting, awful things about you and your mother. But that's trading. You understand? You got to have a thick skin. If you can't take harsh language, you're not going to make it, fucknut. Did you have any children that lived? Did you get enough oxygen when you were a child? Are you on the spectrum? Maybe you should make a phone call. That's what I had to say to this guy. And it turns out he didn't get enough oxygen when he was a kid, and he is on the spectrum. How you like that? Turned out the kid that I had, remember the 33 trade kid? He actually does have psychological issues. And you know what the funny thing is? My wife nailed it because we had him over to the house for New Year's. And my wife said, "There's something wrong with this guy. You sure you want to trust him with some money?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, he's pretty hard worker. He's pretty focused." He was a hard worker and focused because that was, he was a little bit on the spectrum. But once he got distracted, he couldn't do anything because that was his problem. If he stayed focused, he was all right. But once something shiny went by, or I don't know what happened to him, but he lost his mind and blew the account up. And he was doing well for like 6 weeks. And in one day, it was all gone. Never truly got an explanation for why he went insane, but I guess something set him off. Anyway, if you're serious about this, and the only thing holding you back is that you only have a couple of $1,000 to play with, give me the money. Spend the 5 months with me. It'll change the way you look at everything for the rest of your life. And the skills that I'll teach you in 5 months, you'll never forget. And whether or not you stick around on the website or trade for me, you'd rather spend the 1,000 for 5 months of education than throw it away on 2, maybe 3 trades that don't go right. You're buying 10 contracts at 25 cents 3 times. Next thing you know, you're down to $250 in your account trying to figure out what the hell you just did. And I'm being completely serious with you. It's virtually impossible to and you see those stories on the internet. This guy turned $1,000 into $6 million. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He borrowed money that he's not talking to you about. He had $1,000, but he also borrowed 99,000 from his rich uncle, and he may or may not have turned that into $250,000. You never hear the real stories. But I'll tell you the real stories, and they're not fun. This is a horrible business. It is. It'll destroy you. It'll destroy your mental well-being. It'll frustrate you to the point where you start doing other things poorly because you're so down on yourself. I'm telling you, after my kid lost that $1,000 on the Alibaba short, he went out and tried to play golf. He sucked that day. And for 2 days after that, because his head was all fucked up. Trading not only, I'm telling you, it's a sick thing we do to ourselves. But when you get it and it clicks and you're like, all right, low risk, define my trade. It's the same day every day. Usually 5, well, it depends. If you start paper trading and you're following along and I see you did the trades that I announced in the room, we'll set you free. I could see already on my new guys a little bit too excited to trade. Never be excited to trade. You should never get excited about anything. The less excitement there is, the better you're doing. You get excited once in a while, you hit something really great. Try to just stay even keel, and you should never be anxious to trade. Who cares if you find a trade? There's always something to do. I used to come in salivating, dying, ready to go. Now I could care less. And that attitude serves me well. All right? Call me, email me, do something. Start coming to the site, see what it's all about, see if it gels with you. It's not for everybody, but I break it down to as simple as easy. This is by far the easiest way to trade. You're focusing on select different, a very specific watch list every day with a very specific setup. And that's all you do. And it becomes redundant. The name of my website is hitthebid.com. My name is Kenny Glick. If you Google me, you'll go down a rabbit hole of dementia. Come to the website, start hanging out. Everybody gets a couple of weeks for free. Email me, kennyglick@aol.com. You can chuckle. It's meant to be funny. KennyGlick at AOL.com. Website's hitthebid.com. My name's Kenny Glick, and this is my imaginary friend, John. Hello, John. What? What, you don't see John? Yeah, I told you. They think I'm nuts. You see? Say something. They're going to think I'm nuts. What? Oh, you don't. Right? I mean, every time. All right, I'll see you guys later.